Welcome back to the Set in Life podcast. Today, we are talking about something that almost nobody wants to hear, but everyone needs to understand. And that is this: you have to pay a price every single day if you want to become successful. Not sometimes, not when you feel motivated, not when it is convenient, every day. Because success isn't something you earn once, it is something you pay for repeatedly. And that's where most people get it wrong. They want the outcome, they want the results, they want the confidence, the discipline, the physique, the money, the opportunities. But they don't want the daily cost that comes with earning those things. And that's the part nobody can avoid. Start here. Everything valuable in life has a price. Everything. A strong body has a price. A successful business has a price. Confidence has a price. Discipline has a price. Financial freedom has a price. A meaningful life has a price. The question isn't whether you'll pay. The question is which price you are willing to pay. Because if you refuse to pay the price of growth, you'll end up paying the price of regret. And that price is usually much heavier. The first truth: success is expensive, not financially, but mentally, emotionally, and physically. It costs comfort, convenience, and instant gratification. It costs a version of yourself that wants the easy results. And most people are not prepared for that. They think success is about learning more, finding the right strategy, finding that perfect plan. But success is often about sacrifice, giving up what you want now for what you want most later. Second, the price is usually boring. This is where people lose interest. They expect success to feel exciting all the time. But most successful people spend their days doing ordinary things consistently: training, working, practicing, improving, and repeating again and again. The daily price is rarely glamorous, it's repetitive, it's disciplined. And because it lacks its excitement, most people quit. Third, you cannot avoid payment. You either pay now or pay later. Think about fitness. You can pay the price of training, or you can pay the price of poor health. Think about finances. You can pay the price of discipline, or you can pay the price of financial stress. Think about growth. You can pay the price of discomfort, or you can pay the price of staying stuck. Either way, there is a cost. Life always collects. Fourth, most people underestimate the daily cost. They think success is built through huge moments, big opportunities, big breakthroughs, and big decisions. But most success comes from small actions repeated consistently. The daily workout, the extra hour of work, the decision to stay focused. That decision to keep going, those small payments add up, and eventually they become real results. Fifth, the price never completely goes away. A lot of people think if I work hard enough now, eventually it'll become easy. And some things do become easier, but the price changes. It doesn't disappear. The challenges evolve, the standards rise, and the responsibilities increase. Success requires maintenance, and maintenance requires discipline. Now, let's go deeper, because this is where people usually get frustrated. Sixth, you have to pay before you get rewarded. This is one of the hardest realities to accept. Most people want proof before they commit. They want results before they stay consistent. They want confidence before they take action. But life doesn't usually work that way. The effort comes first, the reward comes later. You invest before you receive, and if you can't handle delayed gratification, you'll struggle to build anything meaningful. Seventh, your competition is quitting. Think about that. A lot of people aren't failing because they are incapable. They are failing because they stop paying the price. The moment it becomes difficult, the moment that it becomes repetitive, the moment they stop seeing immediate progress, they quit. And that's why consistency creates separation, not because it's flashy, but because it is rare. Eighth, discipline is the price of freedom. This sounds backwards to some people. They think discipline restricts them. But the opposite is true. Discipline creates options, it creates opportunities, and it creates freedom. Without discipline, you are controlled by impulses, by emotions, distractions, comfort. And that is not freedom. That is dependency. Ninth, the bigger the goal, the bigger the price. You cannot expect extraordinary results from ordinary effort. That's not how life works. The level you want to reach determines the level of commitment required. And many people want high level results while maintaining low level habits. The math does not work. Your standards have to match your ambitions and your goals. 10th, the price includes things people don't see. People notice outcomes, they notice success, they notice achievements, but they don't see the sacrifices. The early mornings, the missed distractions, the discipline, the consistency, the moments where nobody was watching. That's where the price is paid. In private. Long before results become visible. Now, here's another truth. A lot of people think they're willing to do what it takes until they find out what it takes actually means. Because everyone wants success. Very few people actually want the process. Everyone just wants the result. Very few people want the repetition, and everyone wants the reward. Very few people want the responsibility of it, and that's why success remains uncommon. Another thing, the price is not always physical effort. Sometimes it is patience. Sometimes it's emotional control. Sometimes it can be just saying no. Sometimes it's staying focused when distractions are everywhere. Sometimes it's refusing to lower your standards. Not every payment looks the same, but every successful person pays something consistently. And honestly, one of the biggest mistakes people make is comparing their results to someone else's without comparing their sacrifices. They see the outcomes, but not the cost. They see the success, but not the years of work. And because of that, they underestimate what's required. Success always looks simpler from the outside. Let's talk about excuses for a moment, because excuses are usually attempts to avoid payment. You tell yourself you were too tired, too busy, not ready, not motivated, but the reality is those excuses don't remove the cost, they simply delay it. And delayed costs often become larger cost. 11th, your future self is depending on today's decisions. The person you become 5 years from now is being built right now through your habits, your standards, and your choices. And every day you're either paying into your future or withdrawing from it. Every action moves you in one direction or the other. There is no neutral. 12th, small daily wins matter more than occasional huge efforts. People love intensity, but consistency beats intensity almost every time. One disciplined day does not change your life. Thousand of disciplined days do. That's why the daily price matters so much, because it is the accumulation that creates transformation. 13th, you have to stop negotiating. This connects to a lot of what we've talked about in previous episodes. The moment you start negotiating with your standards, you stop paying the price consistently. And consistency is everything. Success does not require perfection, but it does require commitment. 14th, the price becomes easier when the purpose is clear. If you don't know why you are doing something, the cost will feel heavier. The sacrifice will feel harder. The discipline feels unnecessary. But when you have a clear purpose, the price will start to make sense. You understand what you are working toward, and that will make it easier to stay committed. 15th, the people who succeed are often just the people who stayed in the game longer. They kept paying that price long after other people stopped, after people got distracted, after other people quit, and eventually consistency created results, not because they were lucky, but because they stayed committed. Here is reality: success is not free. It never has been, and it never will be. There is always a price. The question is whether you're willing to pay it consistently. Not once, not for a week, not when you're motivated, every day. Because the life you want requires daily investment. And if you're serious about ascending, you have to stop looking for shortcuts around the price. So, ask yourself this: what price are you currently avoiding? What discomfort are you trying to escape? What standard are you refusing to hold? Because the answer to that question might be the exact thing standing between you and the life you want. Remember this: success isn't built in the big moments, it's built in the daily payments, the small decisions, the repeated actions, the standards you refuse to lower. Pay the price today, pay it again tomorrow, and keep paying it until the results show up, because eventually they will. I'll catch you in the next episode of A Sin in Life. See you in the next one.